Hey, Jazlyn,
Yeah,
what should we have for lunch today?
fish tacos.
Okay, let's do it. So, it's not every day you ask your average 6-year-old what her favorite food is and she answers fish tacos, but in this case, my 6-year-old definitely loves fish tacos, so that's what we're gonna do. For our fish today, we're actually gonna use rockfish, which was caught out in the Pacific Ocean out from Newport, Oregon, given to us by our friend Blake. He loves to fish and told us, if ever we have a need for fish for doing an episode, call him up and he'd help us out, and so we did, and he supplied us with this beautiful rockfish. So what we're gonna do here, I'm going to take this, we've already pulled the pin bones out, and I'm going to take a knife and just cut it into little chunks. I'm going to do a couple chunks per taco. We're going to get through this. Nothing fancy here. So there's the first one. And then run through the second one real quick. And as soon as I'm done cutting this up, we're going to go ahead and make our sauce that goes with our tacos.
So people think I'm a chef.
All right, now my favorite part of fish tacos is the cilantro lime sour cream sauce that we put on it. So that's gonna start with about half a bunch of cilantro, and be sure to rinse it off really good. And wanna take off the thickest part of the stem. You don't have to be very precise about it, because all this has flavor too. So we can go ahead and take that. Jazlyn's gonna put the cilantro into the food processor, or blender rather, okay? And the next thing is going to be lime juice. If you have access to fresh limes, use it. If you only have bottled lime juice, that's fine too. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to add the juice of about a lime and a half to start with. And you may add more later, because I like the sauce lime. So we're going to go in there. One more. Here, you want to do it? Yeah. Go for it. Okay, I'll help you get the rest of it out. All right? Okay. There you go. Good job. Okay, we'll bring this down a little closer to her. The next thing we're going to put in is about a cup of sour cream or so. A little more there. One more. Now from here, we're going to put it on, and we're going to turn it on to our lowest setting. Go ahead, and we're going to let this go for 30 seconds or so, get everything blitzed up as much as we can, and then we're going to taste it and add some seasoning. Okay, go ahead and turn it on. All right, looking in here, we've got a nice green sauce. Now, let's go ahead and give this a taste. Go ahead and dip your spoon in there, Jazlyn. Just take a little bit. All right, what do you think? Yeah, good. I think it's gonna get a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper and a little bit of ground cumin. So go ahead and sprinkle a little bit of that in there. Jazlyn's gonna throw some salt in. That's good.
Now both of us are good.
Both of us can do the pepper? Okay. Ready? Not too much? Okay. All right. Let's spin this up one more time. Go ahead. Okay, go and turn it off. All right. Let's take a clean spoon. We'll dip a little bit in and put it on. Hold your spoon open. There we go. All right. What do you think? Is that good? Oh, 10 out of 10? Perfect. All right. So we're going to set our sauce aside and we're going to start dredging our fish so we can fry it up. Okay, with our sauce resting comfortably, it's time to season the fish. So what I'm going to start with is just some salt and pepper. Let's get a little bit of that on there. In addition to that, I'm going to add a little bit of chili powder, a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit more of the ground cumin that we put in our sauce a minute ago, and a little bit of Old Bay. It doesn't really go with the rest of our seasonings here, but it's really good on the fish. I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna take it and kind of toss it all together on the cutting board with my hands so everything's coated. And now I'm gonna turn it over to Jazlyn, and she's gonna take each piece of fish, and what I have here is some cornstarch with a little bit of the same seasonings in there. Ordinarily from a fried fish I would use flour, but go ahead, sit there. But we have some folks in our household that don't do gluten, so cornstarch is a good substitute if you need to do a light breading for a fried dish like this. So Jazlyn and I are going to go ahead and finish this up, and we're going to get frying. Okay, we're over at our stove. We've got olive oil in our skillet today over medium-ish heat. Now, last time when we made our Monte Cristo sandwiches, we talked about testing the temperature of the pan to see if it's hot enough to put your butter in and start frying the sandwiches, and I did that by flinging water at the dry pan, which is great for that. Not so great when you actually have oil in the pan already. If the oil's hot and you fling water at it, it's going to scatter all over the place and make a huge mess. So a good way to test to see if your oil's hot enough is to take a little piece of the fish and just touch it in there, see if it starts sizzling. In this case, it really isn't yet, so we're going to let this preheat for another minute or two, and then we'll come back and get going. All right, we're back after a couple minutes, so we're gonna go ahead and test our oil again. So we're gonna grab a piece of fish and hold it down into there. And you see it is sizzling, and then some. So we're gonna go ahead and start laying our fish in our pan. Probably gonna cook this amount of fish in at least 2 rounds, maybe 3, we'll see. So you don't wanna crowd them too tight because they don't have any room to cook. And you put too much in, so oil is going to cool the oil off, and you'll have greasy food instead of nice crispy food. So I'm going to start with those pieces. We're going to go about a minute and a half, and then we'll flip them over and finish cooking them. All right, as we're almost done here, I keep poking the fish periodically while I cook it, just to test to see if it's done. If the fish is raw, it's still going to feel very squishy. If it's done, though, this isn't quite done yet. But if you find a smaller piece, like over here, that's closer to being done, it's going to feel much firmer, almost like you're making a fist with your hand and then poking in right there on your palm. So we're going to give these last few pieces another 20 to 30 seconds or so. I have the rest over here draining on a cookie sheet with a rack over top. It's important when you're frying food and you have to hold it for a little bit that you keep it up off of the surface that it's sitting on. That way it doesn't allow moisture to gather underneath and ruin the texture of your food. So I'm going to pull these off, and then we're going to warm up our tortillas and get making tacos.
What? Olives.
We're using corn tortillas, and corn tortillas can be a little on the fragile side, but they like 2 things that really help. Well, 3 things really. They like a little bit of fat, they like being warm, and they like being in pairs. So 1 corn tortilla by itself is a little bit on the flimsy side, but if you put 2 together, they become very strong. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take some spray, and I'm gonna spray the pan, and Jazlyn's gonna put a tortilla down on the pan. So go ahead. Then I'm going to spray the next tortilla. She's going to go ahead and put another one on. We're just going to make a little stack here, and this is how you warm up a bunch of corn tortillas in a hurry. You put them in a stack. There you go. And we'll just give that one just a little spread. So you don't need a lot of oil. That's why I'm using the pan spray, because it just puts out just enough to get it moist. If you put too much on there, you end up with greasy tortillas, and we're not really about that. So we're going to sit there, get it warm. Now this is something where if you're a kid making these, you should probably have an adult help you. You're going to get under it with your spatula. You're going to flip the whole stack over. So you're not getting a little bit of brown color there. You're going to take this first one and you flip it over. Okay? You're going to swizzle around a little bit more. Then we're going to get under, Flip the stack back over. Now we're heating the B side of that first tortilla. We're gonna do the same thing here. Turn it around a little bit, flip it over, and now, instead of just this first one, you're gonna reach under to the second one and turn it over. See, the whole stack is already starting to get warm, you can feel it. Spin it around, turn it over, reach under 2 tortillas. You see, there's our first one, already warm. Like that. Now flip it over one more time. Flip this second one. By this point, they're getting a little on the warm side, so you might just need to use a spatula the whole time instead of your bare hands. Flip it one more time like that. And now, Jazlyn, you can have the honors. You can get under the spatula, get under the stack, the whole stack, put it on your plate. All right, awesome. Now we're gonna go over to our board and we're gonna put the tacos together. Okay, here we go. So to plate, we're gonna take 2 groups of 2 tortillas. We're gonna stand them kind of up like that. Jazlyn wants 2 tacos. And she's gonna go ahead and put a couple of pieces of fish inside each taco here. A little closer, yep, right about there. Go ahead and put a couple over here. One more over here. There you go. All right. Now to top these, you really whatever you want to top them with. So what I've got here is I have some shredded coleslaw mix. It's 2 different colors of cabbage with some carrots. So we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of that on top of the fish. Yes, Jazlyn loves olives, so she's going to put a little bit of those on top of the cabbage. Okay, here's our cilantro sour cream sauce that we made earlier. So we're going to put this on a couple different times. So we're going to drizzle a little bit over top of our cabbage, fish, and olives. Okay. Next up, our lime to garnish. Now, avocado. I saved this. So to cut an avocado, you have the stem in here. You're going to cut down with a knife until you feel the seed that's on the inside. There's a big pit in there. And then you're going to keep steady pressure on that seed and work the avocado around. I'm actually not moving the knife at all, I'm just moving the avocado. Okay. From there, you give it a little twist and it pulls open. So we're going to set the seed aside right now. And to get portions out, what we're going to do is we're going to take that same knife, we're going to go around the hole there, and then whatever way you want to cut it. In this case, I'm going to score down through this way. You want to press enough that you can feel the knife on the rind, but it's not obviously going through and cutting you. Okay? And go from there, and then you can just get under with your thumb or a spoon or whatever and get out, yep, nice little pieces of avocado. There you go. Perfect. Okay. Then we're going to finish her off with some nice tomatoes. Okay. A little more of our sour cream sauce, and you did the lime, yep. And then Jazlyn's going to finish it up with some chopped cilantro. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this inspires you to go out and make some fish tacos. Don't forget to like the video, give a comment, subscribe, ring the little bell next to the subscription box, because that way you'll get notified every time I make a new video. And as always, see you next time.
I'll see you next time. And welcome for catching your chef Jazlyn. Welcome for cooking with Chef Jazlyn.
I'm gonna put seasoning on the fish, and
I'll put some seasoning on it.
Then you're gonna dredge it in cornstarch. Okay, you know what that means?